Hey everybody, it's Josh from CollectionDX, and today we have a review of the Yamato 1/60th scale Macross Plus YF-21, piloted by Gold Goa Bowman. He's a half Zentradi test pilot, and in Macross Plus there's the YF-19 and the YF-21, and they both are test models to be the next fighter for the UN Spacey. So they're out at an Air Force base, and there's this giant love triangle and fighter stuff and cybernetic crazy idol chicks, and you know, it's pretty wild. So they've made a few different toys of the 19 in the past. The 21. Only one other transformed, and that would be this one, kind of the classic 21. This was a 1/72 scale, had lots of die cast, clearly not anime accurate. It was clunky. It was one of Yamato's first transforming Valkyries, and it shows. But you know, all these years later, I can still transform it in 2 seconds. It's pretty fun. So it should be pretty obvious here that we're dealing with two very distinct scales and two very different kind of eras in toy making. The original one has a much deeper blue. This one's a more lighter toned blue. You can just see the proportions are just much better on the new version than on the old version. And when you get down and dirty, when you look at the side mechanics, you can see that there's all this exposed junk on the side of the old one, whereas the new one, everything's kind of tucked in. That flap is out on the side there, but I'll go into this a little bit. So the first thing we'll talk about here is the canopy, which I've opened already a little bit. Instead, it's fully detailed, and you have a removable gold pilot. This cockpit is kind of neat because it'll move once you're in a different mode of the ship. So that just what you do is you kind of push it in and down. Easy enough. Next up, I want to show you is see this antenna. Make note of this. This isn't a broken thing. This thing comes off to keep you from breaking it off. So sometimes I find that I just take it off just to make sure I don't break it during my transformations. So on top, it's pretty seamless. There's a lot of decals. I only put a few on the nose cone, but if you really wanted to, you could litter the whole thing up with the no step, no step, no step type things all over the place. A couple of interesting things too. One. Exposed screws, kind of an odd choice. These tail vents, they actually come out really easily, so be wary of that when you're transforming them. So let's go to the underside. Now you'll notice here, see if I can zoom out a little bit here, that I have the fast packs on, but you notice I don't have the guns on. See, they include these guns, which click in like this, but the problem is that you turn the thing upside down, they fall out. If there's a way that they click in, I don't know. So the fast packs, all they are these two plates in the bottom, and you get one of these kind of pods on either side. Getting them on sucks. Maybe there's a magic way to do it, I don't know how, and I can't get the plates to line up on the bottom once I get them on. Go figure. They don't really add a lot to the thing. They're kind of the lamer fast packs out of all the Macross ships. So, landing gear. You have opening doors, and the detail inside is painted, which is nice. These are metal. The tires are rubber. And for these to go in, you actually turn them like so, and then put them down. Close the doors. The one in the front's a little different. It's kind of tough to see because there it goes. You have two side doors, front door. This one's metal as well, but there's also a little spring to it. And you kind of just push it in and close the doors. And doors will click in pretty good. One thing you want to note when you're handling this thing in jet mode is these little side pieces. They can just bump in really easy. They don't click out, so to get them back out, you can get your finger in there. You could kind of do it, I actually use an X-Acto more often than not. But otherwise, it's, you know, pretty sturdy in jet mode. Except for that. But you don't often hold it by that, so don't take that as a mark of quality. So it's pretty sleek. It's nice. So I guess the first thing we'll do is the Gerwalk mode, but to do that first, we're going to remove the fast packs, which I don't care about. So you just pop them off. The big thing with the fast packs is, so there's one little clip here at the end. See a little tab that you're supposed to get kind of like under here, and then click it around the back, and you can just really never get it. So I don't know. I just leave them off. You don't really need them. They look better without them. And also to get these fast packs off, on the tail, what they do is they clip around the wing. So you just kind of bring the wing out a little bit and clip them down. Now before I do this, here's a warning. These wings they go into this section here, and then there's a cap that kind of holds it in. On one of my sides, that cap just pops right the hell out. So you may see that cap and that wing fall off. It's a flaw. I mean, it could just be a production error on mine. I can probably super glue it back in, but I consider it a big old flaw. And these clips are super tight. You don't want to force it, you know. With any Yamato product, you don't quite know sometimes what you're going to do if it does the wrong thing. Yep, see? There's that wing. Came right off. So I guess the benefit of that is you can just undo the clip and take it off that way. So while I have this off, I'll show you what this clip issue is. So the wing, you know, can just go in. Just pops in like that. But, you know, there's nothing there to hold it. So that's where this little piece comes in. The tab piece goes in the back. So you can just kind of, you know, just kind of fudge it in there. If you have tiny fingers, you'll be better at this than I am. But basically, it'll go in there at some point. I plan on super gluing it, but I wanted you guys to see this in the review first. To be like, what the heck? You know? It's annoying. $250 I had to pay for this. And yet, I'm dealing with crap like this. So, it's a pretty big pisser on a otherwise really nice piece. There it goes. I got it in. So, that being said, let's get on to Gerwalk mode. Okay. So, first thing we got to do, am I too close here? See if I can get us more. These lights are hot. Alright, so we can pull this out and see this little tab here? Just kind of, as we get them out, you can just kind of click them in. Either side. There's a little tab on the top here. Break that off. Not break it off, but you know what I mean. Break the seal. And spread those apart. So you're like so. Now, see how these knees are kind of tucked in here? Total pain in the ass. Oh, hey, look what I just did and took the wing off again. I'm just going to leave this off for a little while. So, yeah, these are a real pain in the ass. I'm sure there's a magic equation to getting them to kind of play nice. I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I will, but just know that it's not going to go exactly the way you want it to. So, you can do that, and you can also break the shell, which is this kind of thing at the top here. And what that does, or what it will do, is kind of free this whole area and allow it to move independently, like so. See? See now, so you got one joint that's in here, and then you have another one that's here that enables you to kind of do this action. That, my friends, gives us a whole new world of opportunity to muck around with stuff. Okay, so you got to turn these legs like that, and then here's this joint. Okay, let's check this out. See, this is where I should have the manual had shown me this before I went insane over it. See that gray bar across the hip? Check that out. See, it moves? Yeah. So when you're kind of put away in jet mode, the bar should be up like that. But when you're in other modes, like Valkyrie and Gerwalk, Battle and Gurk, it should be down like that. Why didn't anyone tell me? I don't know. The instructions suck. So, alright, so after you did that, these tabs come out, and you kind of, and it's good that the wing isn't here because you can kind of see the action going on. There's a tab here that comes out, see a tab, and then kind of just pull the arm down, like so. And then what you're going to do is bring it around. Okay? So watch, we'll do it again for the other side. Those of you who missed it. So we'll open this panel out, keep your wings up. Okay? Pop the tab out. Push the arms down. And when you get here to that joint, bring it around. And they'll click in actually pretty good. Okay? Then what you can do, alright, is bring your fuselage back down to the appropriate position and kind of lock this whole area back together. And an easy way to do that is if you look underneath the back here, you see this bar. This is actually metal, which is kind of nice. And that's kind of, you can kind of click it in. Like, alright, so what we have here right now looks like a mess, but it's not really. So you have, just to clarify, we have one section that rotates here, and we have another section that kind of rotates here. So you got to make sure these two tabs, this tab and that tab, are out. Okay, arms are kind of locked in, and then you basically just clip everything down into its upright position. Okay, and it does click satisfyingly. Okay, so we're getting there, kind of go up, but we're not there yet. Obviously, turn the hands around. You can open them up. Turn this hand around, open them up. So the legs do a couple of neat things, and the legs and this tail section work together. So we'll do the legs first. First of all, make sure that these fins are pointing backwards, like so. The panels, shell, what have you. And you're going to kind of hold it at the bottom and pull out. This shin guard, by the way, it's meant to pop off, you know, so don't worry about it. Not a big deal. It's not defective. It'll just come off. But you know, I'll leave that off for a second so you can see that now you've pulled the leg out. You can see the joint kind of comes out, and you have a swivel joint there. It's a very nice little joint. Okay. So once you get this little thing back on, then down to the foot, another joint. So we'll do it on the other side. Swivel out and down. All right. Good. Following along at home? Great. All right. So in the end, your legs should be somewhat like this. Right? Right. Good. I'm sorry about if I'm too close sometimes. It's just, that thing's so big, I have to get on camera. All right. So the next trick, and it is kind of a trick, is that the rear section here, this whole area here, slides forward a little bit. So you're going to have to pop it up a little bit and go forward. See that? Not too hard, but first time's a little daunting. And then what you'll notice is that you have these little tabs here, and those will clip into this if you've done it properly. But so that'll let you know if you've gone far enough. Oh, see, there you go. Which at the time I hadn't gone far enough. Click that in there. Click that in there. Boom. All right, we're getting there. So for consistency's sake, I will put this wing now back on for the second time. It will not be the last time, but I am gonna go get me some super glue tomorrow. All right, so that's pretty much Gerwalk mode. And I gotta say, hold on a second. Let's zoom down here. It will stand on its own in Gerwalk mode. You just have to position everything, kind of find that sweet spot for standing. And there you go. So it does do Gerwalk mode. It does stand on its own without a stand. It does come with a stand, but you do not need it. Should you want to use it, you can. So there you go. Go walk mode. Ta-da! So you can see the back, you can see what's going on there. So it's basically just this kind of big empty spot underneath. You can see where we slid things forward. This is actually a good opportunity to show you as well. One of the features, there's a stand that's included. And I'll show you that right now. Unfortunately, you need an accessory to attach the stand. And in this case, it's this little doohickey. There's two doohickeys. One is for Fighter and Go Walk, which is this one. The other one is for Battlefight. So what you would do on your underside here, you might have to pull this out a little bit to get it to go in, but essentially it clips in the back there. Oh, yeah, I gotta do it. Okay, so pro tip. Pull this out a little bit so you can get this little clip at the end. You need to get that little clip under the end. So just kind of pull it back in. There we go. So now you can see that clip. So I'll put Mr. Valkyrie over here for a minute. And we'll talk about the stand, which I don't really like the stand. But, you know, we gotta talk about it. We gotta have a talk, you and I, about this stand. Rock on. Alright, so we have the stand. I'll go back a little bit so you can see it a little better. It's clear. And so what it is it comes with base. And you notice these notches here and a little thing at the end. And then you have this assembly. Of course, this assembly goes in the notch. And then you can basically adjust the position of the stand by choosing which notch you want to be in. Okay? Top of the stand, you have a little space for this thing. Okay? And it goes something like that. But it's kind of geared, so you really can't move it. And when you try to move it, you go, oh wait, this moves the wrong way. And if you don't look at the package just right, you'll miss this tiny little clear piece. What that does is it locks in the stand piece. Alright, so you put that like that, and then you put the little plug in at the end. And then your Valkyrie, your Battlefight, kind of connects. Where are you? Like so. Thus enabling Go Rock mode on a stand. Okay, so there you go. That's the basic just how the stand works. It's cool, but it's a big stand. It takes up a lot of shelf space. And the toy is stable enough that, you know, honestly, you don't really need it. Oh, see? All right, I'm forgetting my parts. Yeah, so you don't really need it. But if you choose to use it, yay, have fun with it. All right. Okay, so at this point, fighter mode's not too bad because you're halfway there, really. You don't have to do too much, but it's enough that you're like, all right, I still have to do stuff. Okay, so remember that first we break these off. Break this. I can't stop saying break. Detach those two, and you can detach the head, like so. It just unclicks a little bit, and you want to also detach this section right here. You just kind of click it. Okay, and so what you have here is this kind of whee. See that whole action going on? All right, so bring the legs down, kind of straighten them out. You can push them up and in a little bit because you don't need that double bend that you had anymore for the knees. Okay, and you can kind of click them down. Get a little action here. Okay, so if you can see it here, there's a metal rod, and that is going to come up. See how that goes? So you bring that up. Okay, you bring this down. Now behind here, if you can see it or not, there we go. But here there's a little U-shaped kind of hinge. That needs to come down. See it? Came down like that. And what that's going to do is it's going to click together like so. So you can see it through there. See how it clicks into the back plate? Nice. See what's happening. Oh, but look, I forgot a step. Wings are out. So just pop it out. Wings in. Pop back in. Very good. Okay. So also these tabs here go in. Okay. And the knee pad shoots off. Once again, it's designed to pop off instead of break off, which, you know, is okay in my book. Just lay that back down. You didn't see it happen anyways. Alright, so here is a part that I went nuts over, so I am going to try to save you some time. Okay, so obviously this comes out, but if you notice when you pull that back with the hand here, you can see that this joint started to separate. Watch what happens. See how it comes down? Put your thumb up here and push it down the rest of the way, and kind of, there you go. See how that kind of came out now? That's really what you want. Alright? So you also want to make sure that while we're here, that these gray pins are all the way down. Hear them click? You want to make sure they click in, because otherwise you'll be all loosey-goosey. Alright, so here we are. We're almost done. When it comes out of the box, it comes with these little panels. And what those do is they fill in the space on the vents. And you notice that they have a little tab here. Those line up with the holes you see at the top there. So you just kind of fit the tab into the hole. Ideally, you'll have less fat fingers than me. Go ahead, internet, laugh. I can do it, I swear. I've done it a few times. So you just kind of make sure they snap in. There we go. Alright, so essentially, here you go. Kind of badass. I mean, really. Look at that. Pretty nice. Standing on his own. Got little translucent eye parts up there. It'd be nice if it was light piped, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Nice articulation. Fingers are articulated, which is cool. There's a trigger finger, the rest of them, and the thumb and the wrist all move. You believe it or not, the head is articulated in this mode, so you can kind of look around and see what's doing. You know, the legs are super poseable. Oh, I wanted to show you that cockpit thing. All right, this is cool. Okay, so as you open this up, you can see the gold's there, and you can actually push the gold seat back, so he's more in a upright position, like you would want to be, you know, in a Valkyrie. So that's kind of sweet. What else we got to show you? I mean, geez, look at that sharp, isn't it? So those shortcomings in the manufacturing, you kind of don't notice them so much when you're just in this mode. And whoa, that's cool. Hold on. All right, so remember those guns that kept falling off the bottom of the fast pack? This is them. So what they do is basically you pull them out and you get a little trigger there. It's kind of neat. And each hand, let's get down to see the hands here. Focus in on that bad boy. Anyways, each hand, as you turn it, you can see has a peg, which is a nice feature, and a trigger finger. So you can kind of just, you know, finesse it a little bit, and it'll pop onto the peg. You got to make sure like your trigger finger is in the trigger hole. Reminds me of a date I once had. There we go. Alright, so that's basically how he holds on to the gun. You can hold on to two guns at once. Nice range of motion. He's also got this cannon here that if you push close to the shoulder, it'll kind of come out a little bit. I'll show you some leg articulation. Very nice. Here's the thing about the legs though, okay? Check this out, ready? Of course it's not doing it now. The legs come out, they come off. And the instructions actually show that they come off. You can pop them off of those joints there and the blocks end up staying attached. Sometimes it's just easier to manipulate things when they're off, but you know, you're skilled, you can do it with them on. So in this mode, alright, a couple other things I forgot I wanted to show you. I think it's a waist joint. Alright, check it out, look. It's not much of a waist joint, but proper posing, you got a waist joint. I would have liked this to click in somehow, but it does not. So it does make for a little, like, you know, this section's a little on the loose side. Back looks nice. I don't know what else to say about it. It's you can find them between $250. If you can get them closer to the 200 range, I would recommend that. 250 is pretty steep. 200, I think it's worth it. It's really nice. We got hooked up with this one from Image Anime, this cool store in New York City that we went to. They're also online at imageanime.com. We stopped in there when we were at Toy Fair, and the proprietor Wing hooked us up. He's a cool dude. Hi, Wing. So yeah, check them out. Image Anime, really nice guys, and they'll do you right. Tell them CollectionDX sent you. Anyhow, this is Josh from CollectionDX, and we will see you next time.